video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this two-piece. And so guys, I'm going to be using about almost 4 yards of Akara for this. So guys, the pant I already have, this is just a two-piece. I already have a tutorial on how to make the pant separately, the top separately, and I also even have a tutorial if you want your pant to have a zip, right? But this my pant here is going to be elastic at the back and band in front because so the first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and fold my fabric into two, and the width I have here is basically my hip measurement divided by 4, which is 12 plus extra 3 inches. So that's the width of the fabric here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and measure from my waist to my hip, which is 10 inches here, and then from my hip to my from my waist to my crotch. Someone was asking me again how to check the crotch measurement. Just sit down on a hard surface and measure from your waist to the chair. Whatever measurement you get, that is going to be your crotch. So I'm going to also mark that here. So this is my hip, this is my crotch, and then on this side I'm going to go ahead, guys, I want it to be high waist, like enough, because I'm going to be wearing it with a crop top. So I'm going to also go ahead and mark so after that, the next thing you're going to do is just to mark your hip measurement divided by 4 on the line of the hip. So guys, the same measurement, my hip measurement divided by 4, I'm also going to insert it here. So whatever your hip measurement is divided by 4, for me that's 12. That 12, I'm going to divide it by 4 again. That's how I'm going to get this crotch part here, which for me is that 12 divided by 4 is 3 inches. That's why I have 3 here. Or you can just take your hip, round your thigh measurement and insert it here. Round my thigh is 30 divided by 2 is going to be 15, and if you check here, the whole measurement I have on this crotch line is 15 inches, so it can work both ways. So I'm going to also bring up this measurement here, which is my hip divided by 4, and then I'm going to connect this in a straight line all the way down to this point, right? And then I'm going to give it a curve. So guys, this is basically my front panel. I'm also going to go ahead and mark my my nipple to nipple measurement. I'm going to insert it here just so I can give it a dart in front, because I would like the front to have a dart. So that's 4 inches away from here, or 4.5, because I'm still going to take away half an inch of seam allowance. But guys, apart from that, you see, we didn't say any other thing about seam allowance here, because all our seam allowances are going to come from the back, because I'm going to be inserting elastic there also. As you see, this is just the fabric on a fold, right? All I did is just to cut off the other side, and then the next thing I'm going to do is just to remove this crotch out. So once I remove this crotch now, that's basically my front panel. So guys, this is going to be my front panel. I'm going to go ahead and cut this side open also. So guys, this is basically what I'm working with here. So you see my front panel, I've cut it, and this is it here, and then I'm going to just take it and place it on the back panel here, and this is what I'm working with. So basically guys, all you have to do now is just to go ahead and make sure you have whatever measurement you have here on your crotch, 3 inches, put it at the top here. Make sure you have that much space at the top here. If yours is 2.5, make sure you have 2.5 at the top here. And then after that, you're going to go ahead and mark extend the crotch at the back by, if you're more on the bigger side, you can extend it 3 inches. If you're more on the smaller side, 2.5 will be okay for you. So I'm going to just do 3 inches here. And then after that, I'm just going to go ahead on the sides of my pants. I'm going to just mark 2 inches all the way to the end of this pant here. Just 2 inches from the side of my front panel all the way to the end of the pant. And then the same thing is what I'm also going to do here. Just insert 2 inches all the way. Guys, this is now going to be my seam allowance. If you notice, I've not said anything about seam allowance since I started cutting this pant. So now this is just going to be my seam allowance. I'm going to connect it here, and then I extended this part by 3 inches, and then 2 inches all the way from the distance here. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is just to go ahead and from this point now, like I said, you're going to extend the top of your pant for the back with the same measurement you have in front here, or you can just do 2 inches, 2.5, depending on your size. And then I'm going to just connect from here to here. This is going to be my back panel, right? Just connect it in form of an angle this way, and then I'm just going to go ahead and also connect these lines together this way. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Guys, I'm just going to follow this pink line, just like this, go up to the crotch. So guys, this is actually the pant. I've gone ahead and cut it, so you see what it looks like. This is that part here. So all I have to do is just to join the two at the back together using this side, join the two fronts together using the same side, but just turn it right side facing each other, the right side here facing the right side here, and then close the crotch here. And then I'm also going to insert a dart here that is going to stop like 2 inches before my hip line. This is just to help the front of the pants look more cinched in, right? So I'm going to bring down a dart here from that my nipple to nipple distance plus half an inch that I marked here, which is 4.5 from the edge here, because I'm going to use half an inch to join this side. So this dart here, I'm going to bring it down to somewhere here. My waist to my hip is at 10, but I'm going to stop at 8. So on the two sides of the front panel, which is these two sides here, right? So once that is done, I'm going to bring it back so you guys can see the top. So in the meantime, let's just cut the top. So first thing you're going to use here is the length you want your top to be plus 1.5, right? So I want my top to be up to my waist, and my shoulder to waist is at 18. So plus 1.5 is 19.5. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that here, and then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the width I have here is just my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1. My bust measurement divided by 4 is 10.5 plus 1 is 11.5, but sorry, 11.5, but I'm going to add half an inch here because I want the top to be a little bit loose. I don't want it too tight. So that's going to be 12 in total. So basically your bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch of seam allowance and half an inch of ease. That's basically what I'm going to do here. So guys, next thing is just to go ahead and insert your shoulder measurement divided by 2, because this is going to have a sleeve. Mark that. Just draw out your basic bodies. Come down here by 1 inch of shoulder slope, and then come down here and insert your armhole divided by 2, which is 9 for me. Connect it in a straight line. This is the back panel that we are marking here. Give it a curve. Mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus my 1.5 inch, which is here at the very edge, and then my darting for my waist divided by 4 is 8.5 plus extra 2 inches here, which is 1 inch of darting, 1 inch of seam allowance, and then I'm going to put this down here. I didn't add any ease at the waist because remember the waist is going to have a tie, so even if you add ease, you're still going to tie it to help it pull together. So there's no need of adding ease at the waist. So that's basically all I need here. The next thing is just to insert my dart. So I'm going to divide my nipple to nipple by 2, mark it here, and then my dart is going to go up to this point, up to here, that's to my chest line, and then half an inch on both sides and connect it this way. So this is basically going to be my back panel. So with this back panel now, I'm also going to go up here, mark 3 inches of neck width. Just your basic neck width is what I'm using here. Guys, you can always open up your neck a little. You can do 3.5 if you want the neck a little bit wider, but I'm going to stick with the 3 inches. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So guys, don't forget to mark your 1 inch of neck width. So I'm going to mark that here. Come down by 1 inch for the back neckline here, and then I'm also going to take this now and cut my front panel with it. So guys, this is the back panel. I've folded my fabric again into 2 and placed the back panel on it. So just to cut the front, but if you notice here, I have some extension here about just 4 inches or 5 inches. It depends on you. If you want, you can, if you have enough fabric, you can extend it enough for your belt. But I already cut out the belt I'm going to use to extend this, because I don't have enough fabric to cut the belt entirely and just make it a continuous fabric. Instead, I'm just going to make a folded fabric like a belt, and then I'm going to, so just like a folded fabric like this, and then I'm going to join it to the edge. But if you want, you can fold your fabric enough, just continue this cut. So guys, now the next thing you're going to do is just to mark the whole outline of the back panel here, and then I'm going to remove it. I'm also going to mark where my dart is supposed to be, and then where the center line is. So this is where the center of this top is supposed to be. So you see the back out, the outline and everything. So what I'm going to do now is from the peak of this neckline, I'm going to connect it to the front here, leaving about, like, let's say 5 inches down here, and then because I still need 1 inch to fold the edge of this, right, the edge of my clothes, and that will leave me with about 4 inches left, and then I'm still going to take away half an inch here for the top. So if you want, you can do, let's say, let me see how much I have here. So guys, this whole thing depends on the width of your belt. So my belts might be about 2.5 inches. So that's why I have about let's say 3 inches here, because I'm still going to fold 1 inch away. 3.5, I'm still going to fold 1 inch away and then fold half here. So I'm still going to be left with about 2 inches for my belt. So all I have to do now, guys, is just to go ahead and cut this out. But before I cut it out, you're also going to go ahead, you see this line that we made for our darting in front, measure from your shoulder to your nipple. So my shoulder to my nipple is about 12. I'm going to come down 1 inch after that at 13. So my dart in front is going to go all the way from here, and then half an inch on both sides, and then come down here. So 1 inch before your shoulder to your nipple line is where your front dart will be. So that's basically everything. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. And don't forget to also mark when you come to your armhole here. Remember, our armhole was, my armhole was 9 inches, right? Halfway through that is going to be 4.5. I'm going to come in here by half an inch and then connect it this way with a straight line and a curve, just to get that depth for the front armhole, which is always deeper than the back one. So let's go ahead and cut. So when we are done, we are supposed to have one back panel, which is this one, and then two front panels, one facing each other this way. So this is going to be our front panel. But for the back, there's something I'll do also, because if I leave the back this way, it's going to drop so much that it's going to meet my pants. If you want yours that way, you can leave it, but I'm going to go up here 1 inch at the center back here this way, and then blend it into the edge of my cloth. I've gone ahead and joined the top. So this is the I just joined the shoulder to the shoulder, use bias of this same fabric to line the whole neckline down to this point, and then I folded the belt I was going to use. Like I said, my belt is about 5 inches of width, so when I fold it, I'll have about uh 2 inches on each side. So all I have to do now is just to take this and insert it inside here, and then flip this in this way and just put this belt inside of it and close it up. So that's how you can help elongate this. And then once you wear it, so once I put this inside of here and my top is already done, I've gone ahead and put in my dart both in and at the back. So this is my sleeve here, guys. Like I said, you can make your sleeve, just cut a basic sleeve, put elastic at the end. It depends on the type of sleeve you want. So guys, now this is the front of my pants. Now we'll finish the top. So the front of my pants, I've gone ahead and folded what I'm going to use for it, guys. Like I said, the same 4 inches is what I'm using here. I've already folded it into two, and then sorry, 5 inches folded into two is 4 inches on both sides, right? So I'm going to just take this here, and you see the way I pinned the inside here, this opening here. I'm going to just take this part here and put it inside of this, and then sew it down all the way. Just try to, you see this is still long, it goes very long this way, but I'm just going to use enough to, and you can see I've picked my dart in front. This is my center seam, this is the two darts here. So I'm just going to sew it to the point where the front band stops. And then for the back, I'm also going to do the same thing. Take that same thing and make a casing for my elastic all the way around at the back of the pants. If you want, you can also go ahead and insert a dart here so that the back of your pants will not be too puffy. So I'm going to maybe put a short dart here just to help pull the waist of my pants a little bit close, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and insert my casing for my elastic. Once I've done that, I'll bring it back for you guys to see. Here I've made the casing for the back. Like I said, there will be elastic here. You guys, some I always get the comments, how much elastic do you use? Just pull it until you feel like it's tight enough for you. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sew this thing together. I won't join the front and the back together until I've tested it and I'm sure that, okay, this is enough to hold my waistline. Then I can cut off the excess. But right now, what I'm going to do is just to take this side of this, I'm just going to close up one side and leave one side free, right? The side still attached to my elastic. So I'm just going to close up this side, and then I'm going to come down. This is my side seam of my pants. Come down like, let's say, 1 inch or so. And then I'm going to take this lining that I cut. If you have your fabric, you can even use that. I'm just going to use it as my pocket, and then just sew this down here on one side of this here, and sew the other side on the other side of my pants, like sew one on the back panel and then one on the front panel, And then once I'm done, I'm going to close up the rest of the seam going down, and then this is now going to form my pocket. I'm going to insert videos on how to insert a pocket if you want to do that, but my fabric is not enough, so I'm using lining for the inner pocket, right? And I'm making it a side pocket. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and close up the side seams, and then I'm going to close up the center seam of my pant, fold the edge, and then I'll bring it back so you guys can see what it looks like. Yeah, I've gone ahead and completed the pant, and then folded the edge, the foot of the pant. This is what the back looks like. You see the elastic at the back here, so I can always pull it to fit me. So that's basically it for this pant. Like I said, I'm going to link the tutorial on how to make the pant with a zip, anyone you want, and also an in-depth tutorial on how to make it with an elastic. And then this is my top here. So that's basically it for this tutorial. I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for your time, and please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.